What's going on, guys? So we're gonna be doing a tier list. Like I've been seeing them around a lot. H3 did one, iDubbbz did one, Report of the Week, and so on and so forth. So I decided I'll do one too. But instead of doing it on fast food or presidents or something like that, I'm gonna be doing it on game consoles because I'm a giant nerd. So let's just jump into it, huh? So the first one on our list here is it looks like the Nintendo DSi. And I was never really a huge fan of the DSs, but I understand their appeal. I just never really got into them because I was kind of over the whole like pocket console thing by then. So this one, along with the other DS in here, I'm gonna put in the B. Yeah, so I'm gonna put that in the B tier, and then I'm also going to be doing the regular DS along with it because I never saw that there was enough of a real difference there to really rate them differently. So the DSs are going to go there. And then you have the Atari, which was like the beginning of home gaming outside of an arcade. This was the first time that you could actually have games at home on your TV. So they it, the game selection was really small. You know, it was things like freaking Pong or whatever. So I'm gonna put that along with the DSs because it was really cool for its time, but I still think that there was a lot missing from it. Next up is the Game Boy SP, Game Boy Advance SP, and this one was really cool. Right around the end of when I stopped using the pocket consoles. So I never really used it that much, but it was really cool with the flip design, make it extra compact right after the regular Game Boy Advance. So I'm gonna put this one up here in the A tier, along with the Game Boy Color, because the Game Boy Color was like revolutionary. Like it was huge when it came out. And you know, it had things like Pokemon, and like I had a boxing game for it that I was really into, and the thing was huge. So it's gonna sit right up there in the A tier with the Advance SP. Then you have the Nintendo GameCube, which when that thing came out, it was huge, at least to me and my family. I remember we got it for Christmas and we had Super Mario Sunshine with it, Star Fox Adventures. This was a fantastic thing to play on as a kid. And I think that it holds up just as well nowadays as it did the day it came out. So I'm gonna have to put that with S tier. It had things. I mean, come on, it had things like Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart, and everything was like upgraded graphics after coming back from the N64. Like it was all those games, but they just looked so much better. Which segues me into the N64, which I'm also going to put in S tier because not only did it have the Marios, it also had Turok and it had Perfect Dark, it had GoldenEye, it had everything to make a fantastic weekend. And then again, another Nintendo, the classic NES. Absolute beautiful, beautiful game. Absolute beautiful game console. I mean, the birth of Super Mario Bros. And Blades of Glory or Blades of Steel, and you know you had this is where Zelda came from. It was beautiful, so it's also going in S tier. Now I know it seems like I'm giving way too much love to Nintendo because I haven't even gone below B tier with them, but it's Nintendo. They're on the top. They're always going to be on the top. Then you have the PlayStation, the very first PlayStation, which it wasn't that great. I mean, you only had the option for two controllers But I mean, yeah, you could buy the extra adapters for it, but nobody really wants to do all that. I mean, look at the GameCube and the N64, 4 ports. And the PlayStation was around that time. So, and there wasn't that many exclusives or anything like that for it that I was really too interested in. So, for that, I'm going to have to put it in the D tier. Then you have the PS2, which I did enjoy quite a few games on the PS2. You still only had the option for 2 controllers, but they improved on a lot of other things until they came up with the PS2 Slim and their disc trays went to shit. But the original PS2 was pretty good. It had Sly, and I played a lot of Sims on there, so I'm gonna put that in C tier. And then the PS3, which I played quite a bit of, but I never actually owned one. So I'm gonna have to put it with C tier because it came out at the same time as Xbox 360, and we all know that Xbox 360 was the absolute top at the time. Now we have the PS4, which, granted, it was a lot better than the PS3. It has a lot of really good exclusives. I still have yet to buy one, and it's a really good console. It has a lot of good, or it has a lot of fantastic exclusives for it. I mean, you have the open world Spider-Man, you have Ghost of Tsushima that's coming out this summer, and I so I'm gonna put it in B tier. Now, I know a lot of people would like to put that higher, but you can't base it all just on the games it had. I mean, I'm ranking these based on personal nostalgia and the specific game franchises that they launched, not just individual exclusives. And then you have the PSP, which definitely brought in a whole new generation of mobile gaming. Like, this was like the Nintendo Switch before the Switch existed, before the Switch was even like a concept. So I'm gonna have to put it in A tier. I didn't I didn't own one really, but just what it did for mobile gaming, it was huge. And then you have the Super Nintendo, which this will probably be my lowest ranked Nintendo because I didn't think that there was enough of a difference with the Super Nintendo and the NES, and the NES did it first and did it well. The Super Nintendo was a crossbreed of the Nintendo 64 and the NES, and in my opinion, it just wasn't that great. So I'm going to put it in C tier. And then the Nintendo Switch, which I absolutely love. They they're still working on trying to figure out games for it and everything like that. But it gave us Breath of the Wild. It has the new generation of Super Mario, the new generation of Smash Bros. And Mario Kart. And like I said, the PSP was a great segue into what the Switch is now. And with it being an at home console that you can play on your TV or take it with you and play Smash Bros. On the bus on your way to work or whatever is awesome. So I'm going to put it in A tier next to the PSP. And then you have the Wii U, which definitely underperformed. It didn't do nearly as well as Nintendo was hoping it would because people weren't able to differentiate enough between the Wii and the Wii U. All they really did was the the tablet, the little tablet that came with it. And with like the SNES, I don't think that there was enough different with it. And you could play all the Wii games on the Wii U, and it kind of flopped. So I'm going to put that in D tier. And then its predecessor, the Wii. I'm The Wii was awesome when it came out. Like, I mean, Wii Sports alone, I spent hours playing. Bowling and tennis. Come on. So I'm gonna have to put that in B tier with the PS4 because it did do really well. It obviously didn't have a ton of great games, but there was quite a few really, really good titles on the Wii. And then you have the Xbox 360. And the Xbox 360 was some of the best times for gaming. I mean, it had the backwards compatibility, so you could play all of the previous titles from the original Xbox, but then you could bring it over and play it on the new console, and it was beautiful. I mean, it gave us Halo 3, and everybody remembers how huge Halo 3 was. It gave us Gears of War, and when that game came out, the beauty of it was astonishing. However, they did have their issues with the Red Ring of Death, which is definitely going to be a hindrance on it. They did fix it later on with the Xbox 360 Elite, but regardless, I'm going to put in A tier because it didn't quite reach that S tier. Then the original Xbox, which was amazing. I remember the day that I got it when I was a little kid, and I was super excited. I had a dual pack of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Jet Set Radio Future. And I played those two games like crazy until my brother introduced me to Halo Combat Evolved, and then shortly thereafter, Halo 2. And Halo 2 is the most hyped game ever, and it's usually hype kills games. But with Halo 2, it owned up to it perfectly. So the original Xbox I'm going to have to put in S tier because I still have one and it still runs perfectly. The thing was a tank. And then the Xbox One. I think that they were trying to do too much with the Xbox One, with the Kinect and trying to get everybody to connect their cable boxes to it. It didn't do well, and they haven't put out enough exclusives. However, their indie game market is huge. There's a ton of indie games on the Xbox. They started integrating with crossplay between the PC and the Xbox, and that's awesome. So I'm gonna have to put it in A tier. Also because with the One X, it'll give you a true 4K experience, unlike with the PlayStation 4. It would only give you a upscaled 4K experience, which doesn't look nearly as good. But I digress. Anyway, if you guys have an opinion on this, leave a comment down below. If you want to make another one and put it in the comments, or if you want to make your own video and do a response video, let me know. I'll watch it. Till then, please like and subscribe and help me grow my channel, and I can give you guys more fun content like this and maybe some sketches. So until next time.